Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Velocity channel, where this is your bridge to financial freedom. So today we're going to be tackling another gargantuan loan. It's going to be $87,000 at 12%, and we're going to take care of that really, really fast. But before we get into that, I want you to like, share, and subscribe so that everyone around the world can know the power of Velocity banking. You know, whenever you are faced with a gargantuan loan, it's important to realize that just because the bank gives you a schedule and a minimum monthly payment, that does not mean you have to go by their plan. You can have a better plan, and we're actually going to show you that right now. Okay, so we're going to make sure that we write these things down first, because that is the first step that you have to take. You got to classify your expenses. So let's go ahead and write this loan down. Okay, loan is going to be $87,000 at the 12%. Now, because we have that 12%, what can we expect? We can expect a higher minimum monthly payment. Why is that? Because the higher the interest rate, the higher the minimum monthly payment, and you're actually going to see why that is right now. All right. So when we're paying this, the minimum monthly payment on that is going to be $1,248 each month. But remember, the $1,248 is not going towards the principal, only some of it is. Let's see which part. Okay. On the first month, you're going to have $870 going towards interest. Okay. That's the first month. And we'll have $378 going towards the principal. Now remember, that's if you go by the bank's plan. You can expect this pattern to repeat anytime you have the bank give you your minimum monthly payment. All right, let's skip all the way down to 12 months. Okay, here we are at 12 months. Is it going to get any better? Of course. It's going to shrink down how much you're paying to the bank, $826. Okay, and then the principal, $422. Now, does anybody know why that increased? How much you're paying towards the principal? Why did that increase? It increased because it's taking those interest dollars, right? The more you're paying that principal off, it's transferring them to the principal side, and that's what is increasing the principal and decreasing the interest. Keep that in mind as we go along, okay? 24 months, we'll have $772 going to the bank, and then $476 going towards the principal. And now on the last 36th month, of course, you'll actually get out of this loan in 10 years. So that's not the last of the loan, but that's the last of this scenario here, all right? At the 36th month or the third year, $712 goes towards the bank. That's interest. $536 goes towards the principal. Now, some people are content to pay this for the rest of the 10 years, thinking that this is the only way to pay your credit card, the only way to pay your loan. It's the only way. Why? Well, because the bank said, and they know more than you, right? But what if I told you that there was another way that you could pay, so that not only will you pay this off, but you'll capture this minimum monthly payment so that you can do what you need to do with this instead of paying it to someone you don't even know. All right, let's go ahead and check that out. If you were to add just $500 each month, and I know what you're saying, CJ, I don't have the extra $500. It's only because no one showed you how to search for the $500. Now, those of you that have the Money Max account, you know that before you thought you didn't have the $500, but as the money flows in and as the money flows out, you see a residue there, don't you? That actually you do have the $500. It's just that no one taught you how to look for it and apply it towards these loans so that you can pay them off faster. But let me go ahead and I'll share with you what that $500 extra looks like when you place the $500 towards the principal. Now, in the first month, because we got to start with the first month, okay? It's going to be $870, right? Let's be fair. $870 for the first month. $878 is going towards the principal. So here we have the bank getting theirs, $870, right? Interest. $878 is the principal. Now let's skip all the way down to the 12th month and see what that looks like. $768. Pause. Can anyone tell me why we're almost at the 24th month? At the 12th month? How did that happen? Because of the 24th month, at the traditional banking way of doing things, you're at 772. But in the velocity banking way of doing things, why in the 12th month are we already at $768 paid to the bank? That is a huge decrease. What happened there? Velocity banking happened, right? That's what happens when you chunk the principal, okay? $768, right, towards the interest, and then $980 towards the principal. Remember, when you're paying your principal down dramatically like this, what happens? This right here. The interest dollars that would have been going to the interest actually transfers over here to the principal. Okay, remember, it's just $500 a month, but look at how much money is going towards the principal versus what you were on in the 12th month, okay? So let's go ahead. I mean, you're already far ahead here. You're already far ahead. Now, let's go to the 24th month and see what that looks like. Okay, 24th month, $644. Look at that, you're already past 3 years. This is what you call a time collapse transaction, all right? $1,104. What do you think the 36th month is going to look like? Let me show you. This was $712 on the traditional banking side. Here, it's $504, $1,244 on the principal side. Folks, you and I both know that numbers are unemotional. Let me say that one more time. Numbers are unemotional. They're just going to tell you where you stand. And if you look at this and then look at your finances, look how you pay your loans and where you're at on the amortization table, because this is all amortized, you'll realize, wait a minute, I'm behind in my payments. Even though the bank said I could pay the $1,248 a month, that's going to take me 10 years. And oh, by the way, they're going to get $1,248 each month for 10 years. Instead of looking at things and saying, wait a minute, I could be at $504 on the interest side, skipping way ahead in years so that I can pay this loan off much faster than if I had paid the traditional banking way. Now, remember, it is $500 each month. But what if I told you that paying that $500 each month is much less expensive than what you're paying over here on the traditional banking side? Because you see, The $500 each month, right, is going to keep you from paying this total interest, okay? Let's look at the traditional banking side and see how much in total interest you'll spend paying it by the the bank's plan, all right? 62,000. Can you see this? $783. And that's just in total interest. $62,783 versus, okay, now you said that $500 each month was expensive, right? Watch this. $33,960. That's in total interest, okay? Which one would you rather have? And oh, by the way, right, you're going to get out of this loan in about 5.75 years versus the 10 years. I don't know about you, but when I look at $33,960 and $62,783, I learned in school that this number was less than that number. Okay? So that $500 each month is still less expensive than that $62,783 for the whole 10 years. And oh, by the way, once you're done, this is the good part. Once you're done paying the 5.75 years, right, and just spending the $33,960, we can just round it up to $34,000. It's still less than. You get $1,248 each and every month. Something you would never, ever, 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 ever be able to do while working a traditional banking plan. So folks, I want you to realize something. As I get out of the way, you take a screenshot. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask them. I want you to realize that there is another way. There is a reason why we're paying these amounts each month. And if you have a line of credit and it's not doing anything, realize that you are leaving money on the table every time you have a line of credit and it does nothing. I want you to make sure you understand how to use your lines of credit, and that's what Velocity Banking is all about. Using your finances in a way that'll get you out of this debt and into cash flow optimization as soon as possible. All right, folks, thank you so much for watching. I will see you on another video. God bless, and you have a good one.